applications in software engineering, it happens when a situation where you have to work personal event and do professional work. For example, if I'm given an example in software engineering, your boss tells you have to finish a project in a month where you're going to go to the honeymoon. So you have to cancel the vacation of the honeymoon and finish this project. This dilemma has a lot of consequences. For example, if you're a company, you can lose your employees because I can't go out my honeymoon and finish the project. You can't go out going maybe to have some leisure outside and come to the project. You can also, it is also stressing to the employee because you have to do the project, again you have another vacation. Employees can also do work, incomplete work because they have to finish this and go to their vacation. So that is a dilemma between professional and personal life. Once again, my name is Kathy, and I'll be discussing the dilemma of non-diligence. Now, non-diligence is where someone is not being careful or conscious about what they are doing. In software engineering, it becomes a dilemma because when you are not careful and being focused on what you're doing, something is going to go wrong. This can happen, for example, in documentation. Usually, companies where they develop softwares, they skip the stage of documentation. So the requirements are not got clearly, they are not specified. So in such cases, the user tends not to get exactly what they wanted because the requirements were not specified. In today's world, software engineering is very important because software runs on very many machines. It runs on cars, it runs on phones, and in very multiple systems. So when the requirements are not clearly specified because someone is not being diligent, someone is not being conscious and careful and focused on what they are doing, then something is going to go wrong with the software. There is no documentation, and since there is no documentation, sometimes agreements are going to be signed that are not well understood because things are not clearly specified. So an agreement will be signed which is not okay, which is not beneficial to the user or to the company, and in the end losses are going to be made. So in my view, I think as software engineers, to promote the ethics, our profession should learn to be diligent in the things we do. We should also write documentation, try to do our profession with all the diligence that the world requires. Thank you so much.
Okay, hello, I'm Charles Chiruna. I'm going to take you through fictionware, one of the dilemmas. Now, in fictionware, it's where someone decides to take up an application or a software system with features that are actually invisible. Now, invisible meaning that it cannot be achieved, or there's limited technology to achieve such a thing. An organization promises to deliver a system or a software, but missing some key features because of some unforeseen circumstances. Now, sometimes these features are very expensive to achieve. Sometimes it's because there is a limited budget or limited technology. Now, this sometimes occurs because organizations want to deliver product to market before other organizations, which calls for limited time, and it leads to missing a lot of features in the software. Now, this is dangerous because it leads to losses in the organization, because it leads to loss of trust with the customers. It also makes the company lose its image, the public, and also from other companies which it's competing with. Fictionware is related to another dilemma, vaporware, but only that in vaporware, the product actually is not there, but in fictionware, only some features are missing. because of those circumstances that they should about. I think that's what that's
Hello, I'm Monica Harris. I'll be taking you through not my problem. Not my problem is a dilemma whereby a project team concern itself involving software, but in that process, the project team not show inclination to improve productivity and quality in the software. Well, in this dilemma, errors are hard coded. When a team member get to know that there's an error in a program, since it's not the one who created it, who wrote that module, will not say it's not my problem. So this dilemma we look at whereby team members are not concerned to improve productivity and quality in a software, which contradicts the ethics in software engineering, whereby a software engineer should produce a quality product and deliver it to the customer in the right manner. So that is it. Thank you.
My name is Victor. We are doing all the elements, but I'll take responsibility of nation decision. Here, the dilemma occurs when an individual is asked to create or accept a schedule that is obviously impossible to meet. It happens because of perceived pressure or other reasons. The person creates to accept the schedule, knowing that it is unrealistic. An example I can give in Africa is about my friend Kadid. At her workplace, she was given a website to do in 2 months, which of course, rather 1 month, which of course she could not meet because she has books and all other things to do, coursework and all tests. So she had to do the website within that time period because her boss had said so. So she accepted, knowing that she can't finish the website in 1 month. Yeah, that's it. The consequences for this kind of we can have less payment, that is before you finish the project, and then the full payment afterwards. Meaning the payment is delayed, it's not paid within the time period. That's it.
Hi, I'm Sheila. I want to take you through the dilemma called rush job. This is a dilemma where work ethic or perceived pressure to deliver compromises the quality. Okay, like you're given some software to do, and like you have little time or you have a lot of pressure and you deliver it without quality. It's quite different from mere cowper in that for it lacks quality while the other lacks some key functionalities. Now the consequences, okay, I'll give you an example. Like let's say you're giving coursework, you relax and for the deadline, you start doing the work in that morning. Of course, you try to be fast to deliver, but it will lack quality. It won't be that good. And the consequences, of course, if software lacks quality, well, no one wants it. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, I'm taking through the culture as one of the dilemmas. Okay, this is not an English word. In English, it's translated as my fault or my mistake. So this dilemma occurs when a staff member is forced to deliver a product that lacks the key functionality or has maybe a known defect. So an example example, maybe I can give it's like maybe when maybe the market can be like wanting a software. Google can decide maybe to develop a software and release it to the market before Microsoft. But the Google software will be lacking a key functionality. The reason that's why it releases faster than Microsoft is like it wants to software to gain market control better than what it wants product to gain market than what the Microsoft. Now in that process the consequence is that Google will occur than the Microsoft part of it. One of the consequences will be like the lack of market share in the long run, like bad reputation to the company itself, will be like satisfaction of the customers, and then as a software engineer, that's various ways you can overcome this. Like you can straight hard, to meet the quality, effectiveness in the process of developing our software. That's all I'm like to
Hi, I'm called a sergeant, and I'm here to talk about the red light dilemma. Okay, this occurs during meetings with the representatives. This occurs during meetings with the management, client, when the representative of the company makes statements about the project or product that are known to be untrue. The red lights indicates what might happen to the company's bottom line if this situation keeps on going. The consequences about this dilemma is that it might tarnish the reputation of the company. Another thing is that it might result into suing of the company, of the management, or the clients because they failed to deliver the product on time